I missed that one again, Jesse. Just gonna float out. It's okay. Thank you again, G, for your courage to be that vulnerable. It's beautiful. It's a gift.
Mm. Yeah, it's by being vulnerable that we can get the reflection from
Being vulnerable,
people around
open,
us.
And it's scary
being
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, absolutely scary.
because we've been hurt before when we were vulnerable.
being vulnerable is the space for breakthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Being vulnerable.
It's like the opposite of fear. It's, well, that's yeah. That's what what I'm thinking. Or if we're not, if we're not being sorry, vulnerable, we get stuck in fear.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm grappling with this. Just my thought.
Yeah. And the fear keeps us away from vulnerability.
Oh yeah, that's down. Yeah.
So through the fear is where we find the vulnerability. It's like, oh,
Mm,
it's like I surrender I let go of the fear, and then I'm open. I'm opening my vulnerability. It's like, oh, now we think with vulnerability, we think we're open for attack.
mm,
So that's the fear that's in vulnerability,
yeah.
right? It's like in our
Yeah.
survival reptilian brain, it's like, oh no, we're coming out here into the open. A reptilian brain doesn't want to come out of the cage, doesn't want to come out into the light, wants to stay hidden, wants to stay protected, wants to stay safe, right? But we have to come
Mm-hmm.
out into the light.
Yeah.
Mhm. Eyelash, would
Mm.
you do the pleasure of
Well,
inviting Cinderelle if you're able?
um,
Sorry, what was it that you wanted me to do?
Would you invite Cinderelle into here with your words, our words that are like where or
Welcome,
like
good morning, Cinderelle.
bring her up to speed, like where catch her up to where we are if you would.
All right. So I'm coming from the place of my word of the day's rest.
Mm.
And the dynamics that come out in parent-child dynamics when they, like as kids, branch out and counter what they are told to do by those who love them so that they can learn, and navigating that through acceptance and surrender and love for yourself and of your child, and knowing that loving them doesn't mean getting it right all the time. And that's what I've been taking in from the conversation that's been happening.
Mm.
Rest.
Yeah.
That was a gentle trigger.
Ooh.
As soon as you said rest, and then you said parent-child relationships, it's like we spend the whole time when there is a parent and a child of doing parent-child relationship. But when you said rest, it's like each one goes to their own space and just be. So the parent isn't imposing or impressing, telling what to do, modeling what to do, but honoring the child just being, I think it's an amoeba, being itself and doing and thinking like, do Sunday. Today is Sunday. And today there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong opinion. There's no, like somebody asked you a question. There's no right or wrong answer. There's a beingness when you go inside and feel what your own answer is. So the parent isn't telling and shaping and molding and opinionating. And the parent gets to just exhale and be where there's no wrong answer. And the child sees the parent gets an opportunity to see the parent as, oh, you're a person like I'm a person. You've just been around. And the parent gets to see the child as, you're a person. You just, you're. And I can't even say that my experience is more than yours, because where you come from, you remember maybe more of who you are than I do. So a day of rest, of not playing the role, which can be wonderful and exhausting at the same time. So thank you for your word, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for the vision. That is really well painted medicine, I think. Yeah, little glimmers of that can make such a big difference. From my experience, it's all that I want when I don't have it.
It's all that I want when I don't have it. I feel like I just stepped in the middle of like the most wonderful love affair. And I'm,
Oh,
Beautiful, Sandrell. Thank you.
Yeah. Feed your love.
See,
Your love.
And you brought it. You brought it with you. Thank you.
oh, so yummy.
Yummy. Yummy, yummy.
Man, I got that. It's like opening up a box of chocolates, and I got the flavor that just so satisfying.
I love chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, taste and see how good life is to be. Live it now. Wow, wow, wow.
Today tastes like chocolate. Yum, 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 yum.
Mm, 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 mm. Smooth and delicious and surprising hints and notes that invite you to slide down your throat. Mm. And then the linger is still in the roof of your mouth, and your taste buds are dancing as they invite the flavor to go south. And it doesn't even end there. The nutrients are fine. You don't have to worry about your waist. It actually sucks it in and it is divine. Oh, take in the love, take in the mystery, jump over the broom with fantasy you live it to be. Mm.
Oh, that last bit reminded me of like a marriage ceremony, you know?
Mm. Yeah. I woke up with that image today. I'll share with you
Mm.
if you don't mind. My word today is change. I'll share that. And yesterday I was conscious that when things came up to share them.
Mm.
So I sent a friend to a note, just sending you love and appreciation that God put you in my life and connected us through two dynamic women. What a blessing to be born through the legacy of our moms. I am sharing with you in the spirit of my mom's 94th birthday today. Yes, she would have been 94. And guess what? She is 94 and so much more. Live, love, and do what only you can do to live your own happiness. Continue to celebrate your own birth every day. What a gift it is that it did not have to be, but it is. So, with gratitude, again, I express my appreciation and love for you. Have a happy Sabbath, which is rest. Sabbath is rest. That goes to you. And then they didn't respond until this morning. And I woke up to good morning. Thank you for your kind words. And then this hit me. Yesterday, I learned how to respect the power of love. I was like, wow. Share your notes. Respecting the power of love sounds like a treasure of a lesson learned. It's like jump the broom into knowing stuff you didn't know before, you know? Wow, what is that?
I think the combination of rest and change leads to like a movement. I'm visualizing a movement that looks like a dance that's so fluid
Mm, mm,
and responsive to the environment. It's like relaxed enough to float.
mm.
Hey, would it be okay if I share a haiku I just wrote?
Yeah.
Come on, yay!
Yeah.
Snap, snap, snap,
Will
snap.
the poet.
Snap, snap. Hey, good morning, Allison. Just wanted to welcome
Good
you.
morning, Alison.
Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, beautiful
Alison.
souls. I
Morning.
it's good to
Just
be
want
with
to embrace
everybody.
you. We're having a chocolate love affair. Mhm.
So I came
It
up
was,
with a haiku, Allison.
yes, I heard that.
And okay, so I'll just let it rip. So I guess it's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and then 5 syllables. Okay, haiku. Exploration is possible in the silence of our heart center. Exploration is possible in the silence of our heart center. That's it.
Mhm. Wow, that embraces the rest, honoring what has already changed, accepting what actually sticks in the rest thing. And seeing exploration and not having to engage in every aspect of everything and still respect that it is.
Cool.
Mm. For me, that's how
Thank you.
the chocolate dripped on me.
Chocolate. I'll go with a Homer for that. Chocolate.
Mm.
Wisdom.
So my word this morning, I've got 3 of them, and it came from a piece I saw yesterday, but also from a question. What do you want to feel? And someone was explaining, sorry, so a physicist was talking about bridging physics and spirituality, like connecting them. And so this guy invented the touch screen, right? And he was, for many years, he was after making computers conscious. Like, could he do it?
Mm.
And he came into an experience that he's like, he said it's peace, joy, and love. It was like, that is what people want to feel. That is what we all want. It's peace. And he said, it's like, I didn't realize I could have peace. Didn't know it was a thing. So it's like, yes, in the silence, we can find our peace. We can find our joy. We can find our love. So as those are like my words today, what do you want? What do you want to feel is the question. What do you want to feel? Those are my words today. Welcome.
Thank you, Jesse. I just updated all of our words of the day in the chat.
Thank you, Will.
Allison, what's your love? What's your word for the
What's your
day?
love? Yes, that's it. Eh?
What's your
What's your
chocolate for
love?
today?
Sorry, Sandra. What was the question?
What is your word for the day?
I don't know yet.
There it is.
It
There
is,
it
that's
is.
it, right? I
That was
don't
my word,
know.
Allison. That's the words that led me to exploration of the silence. I don't know. I don't know. The I don't know is the gift of
Mhm.
silence.
And the acceptance of change, not being stuck in what was or what we think has to be or what we think is going to give us love or fulfillment. It's being open. How will love show up today?
And the I don't know is like the gateway to
Mm,
the vulnerability and the possibility. It's the openness that leads to wisdom,
and it
or so
takes
my
me
heart
back.
says.
Mm, sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. Continue, please.
And so it reminds me of my question I'm still tasting is when I woke up one day, I was like, wait a minute. What if love isn't anything like I thought love was?
I'm
Good
reminded
question.
of sorry, can I share just something that came to mind?
Yes, please.
No, only if it came to your heart.
It did once.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just making a joke. It's like rather than your
I got
mind,
it.
like I wanted to come to your heart.
There go those giggles.
Yeah.
You
Wiggle
know,
in the giggle.
I heard one from Chi, so I heard one, so I was like, oh wait, 1% breakthrough.
1%.
Yeah.
Come on.
What came to your heart?
It was this exercise that I went through. You sit somewhere alone with your bare feet on the ground, ideally, and you just close your eyes and you take a couple of deep breaths till it feels natural. And then you think, I wonder what my next thought will be.
That's a good
And
one.
it is no, it is an incredible experience. I highly recommend.
That's a really powerful question. I wonder what my next thought will be. I'll write that down.
Wow.
That was my word. I did it in my imagination, Kelly. And my word was wow.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
I'll update the chat there.
And
Wow.
wow is wonder for me.
Wow. Wow.
I'm wondering if anyone will have an association if I say that WoW is World of Warcraft to me.
You're wondering if anyone will what?
Know the associate, like know what World
Oh,
of Warcraft.
I haven't played it personally, but I'm into Skyrim. So yes, I understand what you mean.
I
And it
haven't
is
played it
total
either.
wonder.
It's just a bit of a meme. Okay.
Okay. It's like it's a good metaphor for life and reality and life on planet Earth, though. Like the wonder of it, just the possibility of the exploration of everything. There's just so much to take in. There's too much to take in. So all you can do is focus on the glorious present moment, as Dr. Dispenza would say, and enjoy it and just surrender to the moment.
That saying, like, there's too much to take in.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't, I feel like there's something that doesn't fit right for me, like, or
Yeah,
maybe I'm just, you know, it's
I get
like,
it.
it's
Yeah.
like, because you don't,
I
why does it
guess
have to
it's
be all
saying,
or nothing? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And you're not saying
yeah,
that it has to be all or nothing. Like, I'm not
no,
saying that's what you're saying because there was a context in that part of what you said, but
yeah.
I
Context is abundance. There's so much, and I'm limited to this body.
I I I I want to go further. I want to go
Okay.
further.
please.
Okay. So, wow. When it's so much wow is really for me, it's become like my whole being just synthesized with the infiniteness and the experience of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not too much to take in. I'm one with it. It's one
Yeah,
with
you
me.
are
It's
all of it.
wow. It's
Mm.
ooh.
Yeah, that's the kind of wow I like.
Yeah, I just realized those words came from my head and not my heart. And it's like, oh, it's too much to take in. Well, that's my head.
Mm.
That's the
Mm.
thought, right? Like that's the thinking mind. Oh, it's too much. It's limited. It's limited. Let's put
And
constraints
you're
on it.
limited.
Yeah. And I create that framework in my mind.
Mhm.
I frame the world through that perspective.
Mm.
Like I'm not enough. I'm limited. I can only do so much. Blah blah blah. Story, story, story. Thank you for helping me to
Breakthrough.
yeah, thank you for helping me
Yeah.
see that. Thank you.
Yeah, separation, 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 connection.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Woohoo! Breakthrough. Clang, clang, clang. Hey, ring the bell, ring the bell.
Yes,
Celebrate
yes,
good time. Come
yes.
on.
I've got to put, I hope you can capture this. Um, oh man, it's sideways. Ah, I don't want to show it to you sideways. Done. This is right way. I don't know if you can see this picture. I'm sending it through text.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Whoa, that's fantastic. Are
So
those rocks?
yeah, that is breakthrough. So that bottom part is like
Wow.
thump 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 the heart, the essence, right? You come into this world, but we grow and all of this stuff is put on us, all this pretense, all this framework, all this structure. And then we get to places like this and we have like, you know, we're pierced by a word or you know, a heart expression, and we yearn for it, and it breaks through and it breaks all of that exterior and we get to our heart.
Sindra, this
um
piece really, sorry to interrupt you. This piece, yeah, really moves me or like connects with um a really wonderful breakthrough that I've had recently.
Mm,
Um, yeah, in this experience of managing to read enough to get through a full book for the first time
wow.
since my concussion
Congratulations.
or my brain injury. Yeah. And it was, and what you're saying even feeds more into it because this book was, what I loved about this book was the way that magic was framed because I saw parallels to the magic that I feel is real and present and a part of life all the time, and the way that you can connect with it. I thought it was really artfully hidden in this like fantasy framework, but it felt like it was more real. It was like using that to escape the framework of what is discussable
Mm,
and comfortable within our framework of how things work.
discussable.
Mm.
Man, this chocolate got nuts in it and berries.
I just say the granola bar. That's why.
I'm glad you can relate.
It's gorgeous. And the mixed medium is also you breaking through that framework, right?
Yes, truth
Mm.
is living, is not being afraid to live the wow. Mm, mhm. I just realized how much painting is an expression of my heart work.
It's a very exciting realization. I have a block with my artwork that I am kind of circling, trying to dance with, like understand. I've struggled to make art for me, like completely from me. You know, I can make it from me in an act of defiance in reaction to a prompt that doesn't have to do with me.
Mm,
Force myself through as like much as possible, push it, you know, go
mm,
above and beyond.
mm,
But then because so much of my experience of making art has felt like that performance is so built into it,
mm, mm,
I think the fear to dance with myself, perform for myself
mm,
is the same as the fear I have with journaling. You know, I have this block. I find it, I've been working on being able to feel my emotions outside of talking to someone else because that's valuable, but I can't need that prompt. I don't want to need that prompt. I plan to continue to value that experience when it's available, but I don't want to be going to anyone just because I I mean, maybe it's just that I accept that that's a part of the process, but you know, still there's this
Mm.
thing that I'm just trying to figure out and move through change. It's been a long, I've been around it a long time and like peeking at it. I'm trying to figure out how to look it dead in the eyes. You know?
You're looking how to break through it. Eh?
Yeah, dive in.
There you go. Well, that you just gave yourself the answer.
Yeah, saying it and doing it though, that's the disconnect.
So I share with you, I'm ooh. You know how you said that exercise of I wonder what my next thought will be.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna contrast that. Like I will do that exercise to experience it because I feel like it's calling me to value the thought that is now, the feeling that is going on,
Mm.
without judging it or framing it before, while I'm experiencing it. So I can experience the wow of now. But going to your writing and your painting. So I was painting a picture and it was, and I shared it with someone and they were like, well, I would do such and such and such. And I was like, I don't care. I love you, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I say I don't care in the most loving way because you gave me a gift. I
Mm.
am satisfied with it. And it doesn't matter that nobody else loves it or likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was the expression of it. And I realized at that point that painting is my love affair with life, that I don't have to explain, not even to myself. And I realized part of my process for painting is if I want to paint today, I don't have to have an idea or anything. I could, and I just go for it.
Mm.
And it tells me when it's finished. And I may let it rest for a night or 2 days or a week. And I hang it, not, I keep it in view.
Mm.
And I look at it, I said, maybe I feel this or that. And it may totally transform when I touch it again, or maybe not. But it tells me when it's finished because my soul rests in
Mm.
the expression of what it is. Now, this painting that I've shared, I had completed it and I gave it to my son. And then I was looking through my pictures of things I've done, and I was like, there's something off here. I can't put my finger on it. He's had this thing for almost 5 months. I said, bring it back. It's not done. It's not. He said, Ma, it's been hanging in my. I said, it's not done. And so he gave it back to me. And now it's finite. It's done. It's done.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel like the process you describe reminds me of what it really felt like to do art unprompted for myself when I have. You know, you really recalled that specific surrendering, like the angle that you go, that you fall at. Or that you lean into, or whatever. You did it. That was good. Thank you.
It's not knowing what it's going to become. It's just
Yeah.
become.
It's what you said about like it's calling me to honor the now, you know,
Mhm.
that the idea of serving the art that's calling you to make it,
Mm.
that works into my like this weird maze that I've built to keep myself away from doing art that like computes as a possible pathway.
Wow.
It's emotion, Caleb.
I got 3 canvases right in front of me right now, and I'm just gonna go for it. I started them yesterday, and I'm gonna continue on my layering.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just gonna go
Fantastic.
for it. Maybe I'll share a picture tomorrow when they're done.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever. And it's very simplistic, but it's what wants to come out of me. Just it needs to.
Yes. And you don't have, nobody has to get it.
Yeah, I get it. That's all that matters.
But it's an expression to come out, and it's out there for somebody to get at some
Yeah.
point in time.
If they do or if they don't, that doesn't really matter. I don't care. I
Right?
really don't care.
Do you get it?
I get it and I love it, and that's why I'm doing it. That's all
That's
that
it.
matters to me.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And the only way it will come out of me is if I actually do it. I just sit down and do it and go for it, because like just be in the flow of it. That's all.
Yes. You know how fireworks, they go up, they go and they fill the sky and they sizzle, 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 and they
And then they're gone.
dissipate, right? It's like just let it come up
Let it
and
be.
sizzle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah. Felt off, out of tune, but I was letting it be.
Yeah, no, I was with you. I was with you. Thank you. I couldn't think of the words.
So like what I heard you guys explaining was fireside,
Mm-hmm.
fireside. It's like the fire inside, exploring, like bringing it out. That is what fireside is finding that fire inside and bringing it out for you to see, for everyone to see.
Mm.
It's like that's our expression in a judge-free zone.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. There was silence earlier on in the previous recording. And it's like, oh, like what did that silence set up? Mhm. Places that we could ask questions. Ask questions. Because these two of in the silence, we're becoming aware of the answers. This is our gathering. We're gathering in a judge-free zone to bring out fire inside of us. That's where the breakthrough happens. We're breaking through the structure of the ego, receiving the feedback, and then taking that breakthrough and scattering lighter, brighter, and full of love. That's the fire inside. And it's right there, right in the center, right? That's what we were just discussing. Thank you, Will, for that structure to visual to talk to.
Oh yeah, no problem. Use it as frequently or infrequently as you desire. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful to have some structure to recognize the structure and the freedom that exists within the structure, actually.
Freedom
And we
is
create it.
all the space that's in there for us to say, wow.
Wow. A wonder.
I get to say, wow, that's inside of you. Wow.
Yeah.
Could anyone lend me a cup of white sugar?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be thanks. Thanks, yeah.
Here you go.
That's great.
No problem.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Oh,
Thank you for
what a
asking.
relief. Yeah. No, I thought that I might not, but I figured, why not ask for help if you need it, right?
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
adults here.
And it's okay. It's okay to ask. It's safe.
Yeah. We're adults and we don't have to be afraid that when we're asking for help, we're just checking if it's there because we already did that. And now we get to really allow ourselves, without being critical to ourselves, to ask for help when we do need it and to allow ourselves to be there for ourselves when that's all we need.
It's inside of you. Yes.
I feel like I'm talking in like nonsensical, dreamlike sentences because of how tired
Yes.
I am.
It's wonderful.
No, it's it's hmm. Look, the symbols, the structures from the heart, the communication from the heart isn't in words.
Hmm.
It communicates in it will send us the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time. The ego deciphers it. The thinking mind deciphers it. It becomes the filter.
That makes me feel better.
And so it's like your ego is learning to surrender to like its role. It like doesn't have to protect that any longer from its perspective. It's like, oh, but really the power is in the heart and I'm trying to protect it. It's like, no, the lesson is through the heart. And so like your ego then begins to be okay just allowing what the heart is wanting to say without filtering it. Another word for filter is editing it. And only when we say it out loud, that is the truth of it. So it's like only when we say it out loud does the soul say, oh, that was it, or nope, I just need to adjust it a little bit here. See how that's different than what the world tells us we need to be. How out there says you need to think about it, how you need to think, right? Think, think, not be, think, not feel, think. But it's all in the feeling. And yes, your thoughts will create your feelings.
Yeah.
But they don't have to. Your feelings can create your thoughts. That is the power.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Thank you. That was
Mhm.
gold.
Yes.
That was a breakthrough, man.
Yeah,
Massive.
well,
Thank you.
see, I
And
have to
you,
ramble to get to my gold nuggets too.
no, you put out a lot of nuggets there. I'm just like snapping it up. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're putting it into words. Oh my God. You said so many good things. So I'm going to do a part B to the exercise you gave us, Callus. So
Mhm.
breathing and thinking, what will my next thought be? It's breathing and letting the next feeling be. What's the next feeling? What's the next feeling? What is
Wonder
that?
what my next feeling will be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Well,
we
that's
Wow.
can,
what's so amazing about that exercise is what it feels like after that, after you ask that question. Because the reality is the feeling comes before a thought, and what that feeling is spectacular.
it's whatever you choose. Exhilaration. Thank you for coming with your innocence.
Me, my pleasure. Hear that, Mom? I'm innocent.
Hey, Mom. She's, are you being mom? Are you being Allison? Are you being innocent? What's up, Allison?
Well, I'm just sitting here like a Cheshire cat because I'm just watching the whole fire burning with everybody this morning.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's really wonderful.
So, Will, what would you say about the practice of silence today? As you came in first, it was like something that we discussed. It's on the Zoom recording, right? So, like the first
Yeah.
hours on the Zoom recording of us, like gather, like the opening of it, like to set the boundaries for what happens in this next hour, like from this last hour.
Well, for me, it was like there's a gift in the silence. I'm just rinsing off a brush. Yeah, it's back here. Okay. Yeah, there's a gift in the silence, and the silence is the key to exploring your heart. And so, like on the key to unlocking the heart, it's found in exploring the silence. I guess that's just a different way of saying the same thing. But what I discovered through all this is there's more, there's far more available in when you explore the silence than in just giving a voice to the thoughts in my head.
Mm.
Love that, giving voice to the thoughts in my head. Oh,
Yeah.
mm,
Rather listen to the voice of my heart is actually the real reality.
yeah. That's what we practice, right? That's what we practice, getting out of the head and into the heart. That's what we do every morning. And it looks different every morning. And it was like, Sindrell was just obvious for me this morning. It's like Sindrell came in her heart.
Yeah.
I could hear it. And it's like, oh, just, the practice that she has. That's just her. And so now it's like she's showing up in every place like she's showing up in her life, in her heart. It's like, oh, wow, like living from our heart, being our heart.
You know what I learned this morning was that you guys are my teachers. And I've had this realization, over a decade ago, that everyone is my teacher. However, you guys have been my teachers this morning because I've been willing to be silent and to listen and to explore. And the teachability only really happens by being silent. And I can be very talkative because my mind sometimes doesn't stop. But just being able to remember the possibility that exists in the gift of silence, I give that gift to myself and I give it to others by being silent. And it's not a have to, it's not like, oh, I have to be silent. No, it's just like I get to explore it and witness other people's experience and just be in amazement and wonder of it all.
So Will, it's like like your uh, voicing your thinking, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
it's like I'm talking, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's your coping mechanism.
The thinking and the talking. Yeah.
It's how you've coped with it, right? It's how you've handled it. It's like it's
Yeah.
your automatic of coping with it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, because silence was a weapon when I was a child. It was used as a weapon of control.
Mm.
Well, it's like we use it in our relationships.
We still do. We still do.
It's like
Not
I'm
cool,
mad
man.
at you. I'm mad at you. What's the first? Like I'm mad at you, so I'm silent with you.
Yep. I'm not going to talk to you.
Hmm. Take that.
Yeah. F you kind of thing.
Yeah. You see the childness in it, the
Yeah.
childlike in it.
Childish.
Mhm. Not innocence, not in no sense, not innocent as a child, but
It's emotional immaturity is really
ugh,
more the accurate.
ugh, yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it is a coping mechanism.
Yeah,
Easy to come by
absolutely.
was what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Abundance.
I said, I said, Will said emotional maturity is, and I said, um, easy to come by is what I was, what how that sentence ended for me.
I'd like to ask a question, Will.
Sure.
What was it that facilitated you being silent this morning?
That's a very good question. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. It was the I don't know.
Mm.
That's what it was. It was the
So,
wonder, the exploration. And now I'm conceptualizing it. So it was just really the I don't know. I don't know.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. I
The
don't
I
have
don't
to define it. I can just be in. I could just be in it.
Wonderful.
the I don't know is the surrender.
Yeah.
It is surrendering to it. And I found like when we do that, it's like, oof, it takes me right to the core.
Yeah.
It's like a whole place. It's like it's a blank canvas to start from. Because what you're doing is you're letting go of all that attachment to you having to know.
Mhm.
So all those firings, right? All those neurons that are running, all the potential thoughts that are there, is you let them go and you just fall into I don't know. And it's wow, isn't that a place of peace, power, passion, purpose, love, joy, happiness? But you sit on the outside of someone that doesn't practice that, listens to I don't, there's like, no, there's no peace and I don't know.
Mm.
There's no control and I don't know.
And also the word helplessness comes to mind.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, but it's the power. There's so much
Mhm.
power in it.
Mhm. And so it's a demonstration of what can happen when you go into something instead of trying to circumvent it.
Also known as avoiding it.
Yes.
See, we avoid surrendering. we avoid vulnerability. Right? We avoid peace. We avoid happiness. We avoid love. All the things we want, we avoid it. How insane is that? Oh, I might get hurt again. It's fearful. I'm afraid. I'm not. And what all you're saying in the fear is that I'm not powerful enough to handle this.
Mm.
That's what you're telling yourself when you avoid. And so you keep putting your fire out. Stop putting the fire out and expand it, grow it, foster it, build it, let it free.
I
Let
would
it
say,
be free.
sorry, please.
That's what Fireside's about, eh?
Mm.
So this conversation has brought me to the precipice of not jumping the broom, and it's made me aware of when I'm about to proceed into what I believe is going to be a wobble. And I've approached this change that is evoluting right now, and it will be based on circumstances, some in my control, mostly not. And as I go through it, the most important thing for me that I've become aware of is my joy and not living afraid, not living in the future, not living in the past. But I have to keep allowing myself to come to the present, because it's like this judge pulls me into the past and this antagonizer tries to jump me into the future. And I'm like, no. So when you said like not being strong enough or not being ready enough, I'm finding that the gift is coming back to the now. Just keep coming back to the now, and giving myself the gift of innocence, because it's, even if I know I don't know, like they say, you want to make God laugh, make a plan, you know. So I just appreciate all of the conversation and the input. It's fortifying me and strengthening what is I now come to call my sage, because my judge has worked overtime so much, and it really wants to retire. It's like, grow up already. And my sage is like, I'm only going to get stronger as you feed me and use me and build me. And sage is trust and knowingness, and that I am enough and that I'm strong enough. And not only do I belong, but I create environments of belonging. I co-create those environments, such as here. We do this together.
Mm.
So I'm learning to first see my sage and honor my sage. And you know what? My judge is like, I can finally go and sit down somewhere. It has an ego, but even the ego gets tired. It's my car was having an issue, and I kept taking it to the mechanic, and was like, no, 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 no. And so I was like, well, this light is still on again. And so he put another apparatus to measure what's happening with the battery. And he says, I'm glad you brought it, because this is dangerous. The alternator was actually overcharging the battery, and that exploded.
Yeah.
And it showed me that my judge, I'll call it the judge of me, has been over accelerating my beingness, and you can explode. So the judge really needs to be put in its place, and, given proper, what do they call it when you retire somebody, emeritize. I need to emeritize the judge. It's done its work, but it needs to be put in its wisdom place for history. And my sage self must be given the opportunity to thrive, so I can ride off into the future, and even ride off into the future of transcending to the next state of beingness beyond this earth.
Mm. That's real expansion in my book.
Right? We're preparing that there's no resistance to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we'll know what to do, we'll know how to be with resistance then. I don't know how that'll look coming back, if that is. Who knows? That's beyond. That's definitely where I say I don't know.
But here is where I get to exercise my mind is going. So my daughter took up soccer, not soccer, field hockey. And she came back and she didn't call it practice. She called it conditioning. I was like, oh, that's a different look at it. But so here we get to allow conditioning of our heart-centered selves, our sage selves. And it makes me a better person living out each day. It really, really does. Yeah, I just thank you all for this presence, this space of expression and growing.
It's like in the design, it keeps coming back. It's like, if someone's just talking and we're listening to it, like we learn like 10%. But when we listen and engage with it, it really it really accelerates it to 60-70% of like embracing it, like embodying it. And so that's what we do here. That's the difference, is that we all get to be a speaker and a listener. Now, try to put that into a coaching program.
Love the little giggle, Allison.
No, not that that's like, that's not
It's not
where
a
I want to
shock.
be stuck. It's not where I want to be stuck.
Yeah.
But the point of it is that if like the listeners have to be paying attention, that I'm paying them to get 10%.
Of the learnings.
Yes.
Huh.
Because it's a structure, right? It's there's one person that has the platform.
Yeah.
So there's 90% of what you get to contribute or learn, there's no room for. You have to go do that somewhere else. You see that? You go do that somewhere else. It's not important for me that you do it here. You go do that somewhere else on your time, not mine. That's what that structure says.
Well, here's the possibility that opens here in this conversation is, can this be part of a structure that may involve coaching, but also this is also like a yes, and this is also part of it.
I would think so, yes.
Okay. So that's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I feel. This invites way for that opportunity of a more expansive experience of the coaching process.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say sometimes it would be essential to the foundation.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that, like there you go saying, I think that there still needs to be a measure of a structure to this container, because if it's too big and there's too many voices inside of it, it would maybe not necessarily create the positive environment that we have created here. So maybe like a max of 10 people per room kind of thing. So you could create the container and then create breakout rooms and go, these are the rules, and have, like this is the framework, let's say, not the rules, but this is the framework that we operate on. And then you could have a facilitator in each room.
Yeah, so you have a frame, and then you have guidelines.
Yeah. To keep it, clean and respectful, and create the safe space. And it has to be a safe space for people to be vulnerable, because if it's not, then it won't work.
Yeah.
And I, yeah,
And we create that.
yeah, and many times I sit and wonder. It's like, all right, yeah, it's like I can manage 10, 12, but any more than that, I don't have experience with it yet. Yeah.
And it's not that you need to control it. It's more like we create space and the freedom to share. And
Well,
the group actually kind of more or less, I won't say control, but facilitates the space where people get the learnings from their own heart.
Mhm.
and I want to say this too. I think our bodies really have different capacities in terms of how much vibration they can deal with in a self exploration exercise like this.
Yeah, it's
So
not going
we
to happen
did,
all at once.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. You 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 get overstimulated and then you can't center.
Alternators overstimulating the battery.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly.
So it has to be, that's why you have a facilitator to help
yes,
understand the energy
yes.
and help break down intricate processes gently, tenderly.
Definitely with empathy.
And
Yes.
as the group conditions itself, to use your daughter's language, Sindel,
Mm,
the energy of the group facilitates the expansion.
Yes. Ah, yes.
And we've experienced that from, from time to time over the 2 years. You know, where the consistency of the members has brought about that holding space in a way that no facilitator could do that on their own.
That's right. This is like a group program that, in my opinion, is worth like $100,000 when it comes to exploring who you really are and finding your true self.
And that's the magic of dancing with the silence.
Yeah, because when you pay someone as a coach, right, if they hold that role as a coach, you're uh, you're not going to pay for silence,
Because you don't see the value in it
right?
if you're a beginner, a novice.
Mm-hmm. And which coach, like, do you have, like, is there, and maybe they're out there, right? Maybe they're out there, but it's like, really, like, check it. It's like, would we really pay for
Well, they're
I
right
mean,
here. We're all kind of facilitators of silence right here.
That's right. And
We're
it's
all
like, now
coaching
that,
each other.
yep. And it's to find what's inside of you. So, yes, to find what's inside of you. Now, I'm not saying like couldn't do it to make money. I'm not saying that at all. It's just there's a structure that's out there that I'm not a fan of. And when I found what is really necessary, like for myself, and I can assume it's like I think everyone could benefit from that. How do we how do we facilitate people finding the fire inside themselves?
Mm.
By inviting more into this experience. So, like, my vision is, I'll just share what I'm seeing, and it is that this continues just as is. And as more people begin to show up, we kind of limit not limit, but we create new containers within. So breakout rooms, we just, hello, welcome to Fireside. We're going to place you in a breakout room and with a facilitator, and we can explore the silence and see what's there. We have a framework. We'll just put that on the screen and let's go through the phases of this process and explore this. And you can come, you can go, you can stay, or you can leave. It's entirely up to you. We just have a few core values like, kindness, respect, and willingness to explore. And the rest is up to you. How does that sound?
Sounds like life.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. That's all this is. This is life. This is your life, man. It's just a mirror. That's all it is.
Yep. And with that, it feels like it's time to scatter.
Thank
all
you
have a-
so much,
Oh,
everybody.
thank you, everyone. What a beautiful, wonderful morning. I got to re-listen to this.
You all have a beautiful day.
Get to.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank you
beautiful
so
day,
much.
Heinz.
Thank you all.
Have a wonderful
Enjoy,
day.
everyone.
Thanks, G.
Love
Later.
you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
all.
Bye.
Love-
Bye.
bye.